To support the show, visit us at patreon.com/retroam. Get early access, bonus episodes, and access to our growing collection of premium podcasts, where we cover other JRPGs like Terranigma, Parasite Eve, and Star Ocean.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
Have you played Streets of Rage 4?
Yes, I've defeated it.
It's pretty good.
It's all right.
But, God bless the ring and all.
Mm-hmm.
But my question here is, am I a bad parent?
Yes.
Because I let my children play Streets of Rage 4 with me? Is that bad? I mean, it's cartoon violence.
Preparing them for life to beat up street punks, psychos, and women. So
more importantly, cops.
Right.
Because we
got a lot of cops in that game.
We got to level 2 of that level, which takes place in the police station, and one of my sons turned to me and said, "Dad, are we the bad guys?" And I said, "No, they're the bad guys."
At some point, the cops are also fighting the prisoners in that.
Yeah, they are. They are. You fight the police commissioner in that game, and it's pretty good. We haven't beat it yet, but I've had a good time with it. I think it's really good.
I played it by myself as Axel and had a bad time, and then I picked it back up, restarted with Cherry, and had a great time.
I actually liked Axel the most, actually. So anyway,
Bland.
Cool game. He has the same last name as me. He's my cousin.
Bare knuckle.
I just wanted to God bless the ring at the beginning of the podcast.
That's, bless it all you want, man.
We really need to. Would you like to hear some hot sounds that I've recorded?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast where we discuss classic JRPGs chapter by chapter, beat by beat. Welcome back to Season 3 of this podcast. It's Final Fantasy VIII. We're covering Final Fantasy VIII. Have you heard about this game? It's Final Fantasy VIII. My name is Chris. I am joined today by Eric. Hello, Eric.
Hello, Crisp.
Is it the first time you've called me Crisp?
Yes.
I know there's somebody else that calls me Crisp around here, but before we get to that person, who's under the table now, by the way, the fake net is under the table. We are also joined by the Real Net, a collective of patrons who are listening to us record live. You too can join the conversation at patreon.com/retroam and be a patron and be thanked by me right now. Thank you.
We're also joined by the Fake Net, our post-production AI companion, who's not only literally under the table in button form, but also the pilot of the ship that accompanies the music player in the Sega Saturn's built-in OS.
Initializing Fake Net.
I'll play music from any CD that has a Korn song on it.
I might have to get a fake net poking stick poker.
Golf club.
Try it and I'll poke your eyes out and give you a third nose hole.
Okay, yeah.
Walking stick.
Poke the fake net. Hello, fake net. Nice to see you again. I'm glad you're back for another exciting, riveting episode of Retrograde Amnesia. You are the linchpin of this podcast. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello, Crisp. You look like shit today.
Yeah, I know. So, Eric, we left off with liberating a town. Liberation. Will you please drop the liberation sound effect from Ogre Battle right there?
Sure, yeah.
Initializing Fake Net.
Couldn't find it. Here's 1.5 seconds of an Ogre Battle song.
I was expecting you to say no. Okay.
If it's easily capturable, absolutely. Okay. If it exists, if I can find it.
Oh, it exists. That drop appears every time you liberate a town. Liberation. Anyway, we've liberated Balam and saved Zell.
Isn't that Ayabrea's magic attack at the end of the game?
I think it's liberate.
Sure.
Liberate your cells because the age of nucleic domination has come to an end once again. And Zell's mom is safe. Big Bad Rascal is safe. Fujin and Rajan got their asses kicked, but we let them go, so they're safe. So
we implied we'd kill them next time we saw them.
Yes, Squall specifically was like, I'm not down with you guys doing this, so this is your one warning. And during that battle, one thing that we failed to discuss, or actually I failed to prepare the proper information for the last episode, we drew a Guardian Force, a GF from Fujin called Pandemona. And I have some information about Pandemona. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
I didn't scan it because you can't scan it because you don't fight it, but according to the Phantom Wiki and according to my own eyes, because I summoned this thing in the on some random enemies the other day, Pandemona is a pastel-colored creature. Its body is sort of lavender with various colorful aspects to it. Have you seen this thing?
Yeah, it's very pastel and pretty.
It's also got like a
windbag,
a sucking pouch. Yeah, a Kirby.
A sucking pouch.
A Kirby. A Kirby is basically a sucking pouch. So it's got Kirby technology installed in its like right breast.
Yeah,
and it uses a move called Tornado Zone, So welcome to the tornado zone. And this does a wind elemental attack that it attacks all enemies. And according to the Phantom Wiki, which I did not corroborate this information, but most enemies in this game have a wind weakness, which is interesting to know, I guess.
There's not exactly a plethora of wind spells.
Yeah, it's just arrow and maybe that's it. I don't know. Anyway, it sucks everybody up and spits them out in a tornado and does all that fun stuff. In terms of the GF itself, it learns speed and strength junctions and support abilities to enhance them. It's the first Guardian Force that you get that actually learns these speed boosts naturally without any sort of special itemization. And it is also the first one to learn an ability that lets the Junctioner act first in battle. I think it's called Initialize.
So he's got Jin's parry, or Jin's little punch. Tekken4.com.
What does that have to do with speed?
Act first in battle.
Jin can act first in battle?
Jin's punch in Tekken 4, he's got a punch that's faster than any move in the game. So if you do it when a match starts, you hit 100% of the time.
As somebody who played Jin
you taught me that.
Well,
20 years ago. Get with it.
When we played Tekken 4 a couple weeks ago, I couldn't even remember if I played Julia in Tekken 4, and you guys corroborated that for me. I was like, I think I learned Julia in Tekken 4, but I'm not sure.
Great. Well, Chris, you want to know my favorite Pandemona fact?
Yeah.
It sounds like this.
Cool. And as far as I could tell, Pandemona was not a summon in anything else of contemporary Final Fantasy knowledge, except for it was in some of those weird-ass mobile things, X/I, Brave, Exodus, Dissidia, whatever. All that stuff.
Motherfucker just said Brave Exodus.
Anyway.
I think we're defaulted into the garden next.
Yeah, we are. We're back aboard the garden.
Elven Garden plays.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the control room. Kistis asks where we're going to go next. But then Selphie just pops up in the elevator and says, we should go to Trebia Garden. She thinks the sorceress might leave it alone. Because why, Chris?
Because it's in the mountains.
That's right. Yeah. Sorceresses hate mountains.
Confirmed. Absolutely.
Squall thinks to himself, that was destroyed by missiles. Then he realizes that's why she wants to go. She wants to go check on her friends. But Squall says the perfect leadership thing or parent thing, when you don't want to give specific permission, he says, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. I use that a lot at work.
Keep that in mind. It's not a yes, it's not a no. I'll think about it, but really, I'm going to drink until I forget.
For those of you out there with sort of like professional office jobs, a good variant of that is, I'll put it on my list.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'll put it on my list.
You like that one? Okay, free career tips right here.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
I go to the library. Zell's in front of it. It's the first time Zell's not in my party. Is he always park his shit in front of the library?
He's doing combos.
Yeah, he's doing karate moves.
I have an important question.
Yeah.
What's he wearing?
Clothing.
His normal clothing?
Oh, I don't know. Why?
Because the first time I passed through here, the library, Zell was wearing his Seed uniform doing combos.
Oh, he's getting pretty for the pigtail girl. Is that what he's doing?
Well, I don't know, because then, when we'll talk about what happens in the library, but I went in the library and then I came back out.
Yeah.
He's still there, but he's back in his regular Zell clothes.
Oh, man.
So I don't know if bug or not.
It's a glitch in the simulation.
Yeah, but
I feel like I would have noticed it if he were in those clothing before.
Yeah, it was very obvious, because there was one time later that Selphie was wearing her Seed uniform up in the classroom too. So I don't know if that's something that's in the random rotation.
I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
FakeNet, will you do me a favor and see if there's any data on if that's random or not?
Initializing FakeNet.
Both Selphie and Zell will sometimes wear their Seed uniforms.
See, now we're really going to have to pay close attention to our FakeNet callouts, because every time we call it the FakeNet, Chris has to bend under the table.
Hey, I've got it in my little palette. I can just drop it in anytime. It's very easy for me to put the FakeNet thing.
I know, but we're performing a live show for
Chris, it is a post-production AI companion. It doesn't even fucking say anything during the show.
6 people. I know. I just like pressing the button, Eric. I mean, come on.
All right, fine. You push your button, you bend over, you get a back brace at 46. That's going to be great.
It saves you 5 seconds.
It does not. It saves me 3 seconds.
Okay.
Initializing FakeNet.
You didn't ask me anything. Why do you push the button? All of this is a waste of my time.
All right. Carry on.
Zell is in front of doing fighting moves. I talked to him. He states that Fusion, Rajan, and Cypher will be our enemies next time. And he says, well, I'll just make them snap out of it with these fists o' mine.
Fist o' mine. That's not the first time he's used the term fist o' mine. Yeah. He used it earlier in the game, I think.
I go out to the library, and I think we may have different scenes coming up. In mine, Conceited Seed was back.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking to the girl on the front desk and asking if those three are on the library committee. And the girl says they're close, but they're all flexible with their schedules, which is not an answer to that question.
Yes.
I thought there's only one here, so I don't know who they is talking about. Anyway, he asks if the girl with the pigtail is off today. And the girl behind the counter hesitates and puts her hands behind her back and says, yes, she is. Can I help you? He then says, nah, that's okay. Thanks. And then turns and walks through Squall completely like he's a ghost.
Yeah.
And exits.
Maybe he's dead.
I speak to the worker again and she says, what do you think? Do you think maybe he likes her? Maybe, but who cares? We know she likes someone else, so we have to back her up. So they're all in for Zell and Pigtail Girl to
everyone's
kindle
all
the
in.
romance.
Yeah. I got that later, but I did get it. I think that one only triggers if you don't have Zell, right?
I think so.
Think so. Maybe. Perhaps. Okay.
Renoa is hanging out in here?
Yes, Renoa is hanging out in here.
She says the library is taking requests for books, and maybe she should put some requests in.
Yeah, she doesn't know what kind of book to order. I don't know what kind of book that Renoa would read.
Necronomicon.
Oh, okay, maybe. I think that's more up Selfie's alley.
Yeah, actually.
Actually, yeah.
Some guy in the back mentions not having to take tests anymore because all of the chaos, and then yells at Instructor Aki.
Yeah.
So Instructor Aki, have we seen this person? Is that who yelled at them earlier?
That's who yelled at that. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm thinking that Instructor Aki is the one that comes out and yells at Squall if he pulls his gunblade out when that kid asks him to.
Okay, yeah. So Instructor Cop, Mr. Drury.
Yeah. Fuck. You see somebody in the YouTube comments knows where we went to high school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's pretty funny.
Next, I go to the classroom, 2F. Selfie is here on one of the computers, which in World goes on to explain a lot because she's actually, remember having to go to the computer lab to do computer work?
Yeah.
I bet kids still do that.
No, they don't. Because guess what?
What?
Okay, my kids are in kindergarten, right?
Yeah.
Second week. Yesterday, they got in the car when they picked them up and they said, Dad, I have a computer in my backpack. They gave us computers.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, they sent my kids home with Chromebooks.
When I was in first grade, I got a fucking big box of chocolate candy bars I was told to sell.
Yeah.
Selfie will say the Garden Square BBS is so much fun. Chris, what does BBS stand for?
Bulletin Board System.
That's right.
Yeah.
Irvine tells Squall to loosen up if he wants to get with girls. My guy has struck out every opportunity. He's giving Squall girl tips.
I think you said that last episode.
It's entirely possible, Chris.
But I'm going to leave it in because I like it.
That's great.
Yeah.
I go to my diary.
Oh.
We've got one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Do you have it pulled up?
No, I didn't know that.
That's right, Chris. Surprise, motherfucker.
Goodbye, Raijin. Fujin. Goodbye, disciplinary committee. I hope we can meet again on better terms. I wish I could have said bye.
Okay. She thinks that she should have said bye.
Yes.
Or could have said bye.
She wishes.
She wishes.
Okay. Well,
She wasn't in the party, Chris. Actually, she was in my party.
Yeah, she could have. Yeah. Well.
Oh, well. I also think it's funny that she said goodbye disciplinary committee, as in that department just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
They're not going to fill it with any other roles.
Well, that's like when a couple of kids decide to start the occult rituals club, but there's only 3 kids and no one else is interested.
And they've accidentally sacrificed 2 of their friends already, so it's just one guy left.
That's a plot to a very popular anime. It's called Jujutsu Kaisen. It's pretty good.
Is that a Gundam?
No, it's not Gundam.
All right.
It's like kind of like supernatural shonen kind of stuff. It's pretty good.
Tight. So, you do anything else with the garden?
So, no. Well, I went up to Nita and said, turn this fucking thing on. Let's go.
That's right, dude.
Yeah.
So, you know where? Do you want to do some side questing, Chris? You know where I went?
Chocobo Forest?
That's right. You want to do all the Chocobo Forests right now, Chris? Or how about, I know you haven't done them. You listen to me talk about them and tell me if you think it's something you feel like you should do.
Well, I did. Well, here's what I did yesterday.
Okay.
Because I did stumble across one in the southern continent here.
Uh-huh.
And I went into it, and that kid explained everything to me.
That kid, sir, Chocobilly.
Chocobilly, excuse me. My bad. Chocobilly, that's a good name.
Initializing fakehead.
No, Choco Billy is in Final Fantasy VII.
Explained everything to me, and then I left the area, or I left his vicinity. I pressed a button, and a bunch of options came up, and one of the options was, I don't think I have time for this.
Yes.
And I pressed that and left.
Good.
So
that will determine. Chris, all Chocobo forests are connected, and that each of them can be reached by riding Chocobos from any other forest. The advantage to riding Chocobos in this game is they can pass through shallow water on the world map.
Oh, so is it necessary to get one?
No.
Okay. The one thing about this game, and this is related to what you're about to talk about, but related to Chocobos. But the one thing about this game that I find much different this time around is that I'm not stopping and exploring the world map and looking for shit like I used to when I played this game 20 years ago. So the fact that there's like not very many battles in between a lot of these set pieces or a lot of these moments, it feels kind of weird to me playing it this time. But then I remembered, last night when I was playing, I remembered, I used to stop and just go explore and fight things and draw things and find little nooks and crannies like Chocobo Forest. So
for a long time, I lamented the loss of the world map from the JRPG interface. That's not the right word either. System, let's go with.
Yeah.
But now I realize, like, the sense of wonder is gone because this is one area where I think games have progressed to a point where exploration and level design is designed with much more intention than these haphazard world maps with some pockets of secrets. And to me, it's much more efficient to figure out where the secrets are via internet document and find them rather than poke and prod at every single instance that could potentially be out there.
So I think we can kind of explore this conversation further in our premium miniseries on Star Ocean, which is out by the time most people are hearing this probably, because the Super Famicom version does not have a world map.
Right.
And the PSP/Switch remake does have a world map because they reinstituted the game into a like Star Ocean 2 system or something like that. So we can kind of discuss that.
Sprites on polygons, son.
Anyway, go to patreon.com/retroam and see if we've done that yet.
Beginner Forest, the first Chocobo place. These are all they all are almost identical kind of puffy clouds of forest, circular biscuits of forests on the world map.
Mm-hmm.
First one's called Beginner Forest. It's on Winter Island. Blue Field continues to play when I enter. This place is a cozy winter outdoor cul-de-sac, a sunny evening area in the woods with a small clearing surrounded by trees. I'm sorry, Chocoboy is just here. Not Chocobilly, Chocoboy. I'm sorry.
Chocobilly's way better.
I think Chocobilly was in something. Fake. Now, was Chocobilly in something? Don't do it, Chris. I can do it later.
The final shit.
You fucked up.
Initializing FakeNet.
This is a complete shit show, even if I hadn't already answered this question.
Yeah, I might have to do something about this.
He says,
somebody send me a fucking small table that's about 2 feet tall, please.
I'll just bring one next time.
Patreon.com/RetroAM. You can subscribe to the table tier by mailing me a table and get free bonus episodes.
That's not true.
No, it's not.
He's hanging out. He says, I'll scare away the Chocobo if I come in. Squall nods to the rest of his team and they both fuck off. The kid is just in a yellow jacket and jeans. Dude, where are your parents? I have a theory that I'll explore later that he is an escapee from Trebia Garden.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, because he's wearing colors similar to the student uniforms there. I tell him I want to catch Chocobos, and he says yes, then Breezy starts playing. He then gives me a Chocowis. Do you know what a Chocowis is, Chris?
Is it maybe it's a Chocowis.
It's a Chocowis.
Chocowis.
Chocowis. Grimoire Vice.
Chocowis.
I have to pay him 1,000 gil to figure out what the fuck this is.
Is it a whistle?
Yes.
Okay.
I pay it. He now talks about Choco Sonar for location and Choco Ziner for action.
This is a lot.
If we do this in the forest, Chocobos will fall from out of nowhere because you get this meter, this sonar that tells you where the hotspots are. Then you blow your whistle and a Chocobo falls out of the sky. Squall, for some reason, tells the kid he doesn't want any small ones. He just wants to ride one. But Chocoboy tells Squall to hold his horses. Horses are creatures which do not appear in this world.
I don't know, man. They might. I mean, there's basketball.
Why are we riding fucking Chocobos, Chris?
Because Chocobos are cuter. Because we eat horses in this world.
That's right. We do. Chocoboy
Chocobilly.
Chocomark says when there is only one Chocobo left on the screen, the mother will get worried about it and start coming out to look for it. So you drop all these little Chocobos onto the battlefield, and then you do puzzles to eliminate some of them, because some of them just fly back up into the screen, and when there's only one left, the mother comes out and you can ride it.
Oh.
If you don't want to do any of this shit, you can actually pay Chocoboy, I think like 1,000 gil, and he'll just summon one for you, but you don't get credit for solving the puzzle.
Oh, I should have done that. I wanted to at least ride one. But
this, to me, seems like a very prototype version of Chocobo Hot and Cold from Final Fantasy IX, which is a much better implementation of this. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't get the logic of which points to do when and which dismiss certain Chocobos. So you know what I did?
Was that?
I cheated.
Mm-hmm.
You can also pay 1,200 gil. And by the way, this is where the Pocket Station interface is integrated. In the proper game. You can send the Chocobo that you catch in this to your Pocket Station and raise it.
Oh, like a Tamagotchi a Pokemon.
No, Pocket Station. Not Pocket Monster, not Tamagotchi, Pocket Station.
What's a monster from a Pocket Station called?
Chocobo.
Is a Chocobo a monster? I think that to answer
Yeah, I think they're monsters.
to answer this question, at least in terms of Final Fantasy VIII, you would have to be able to draw magic from them, I think.
We'll see about that.
I don't know.
If we use the Zener when there's no chocobos around or the whistle, it will be stolen. We'll have to pay for a new one. So if you do this wrong, you got to pay the price. It is 700 gil for one of those. Good God, there's only one chocobo here, so I walk up and try to assault it, and the mama comes out of the ether. You can then, after you get the mother chocobo out, you can detect another secret spot, which I cheat and do, and the mother digs up an aura stone. Aura stone.
What does that do?
I don't know. Fake net.
Initializing fake net.
It casts aura. All of these stones are consumables that cast whatever magic the stone is called.
I ride the chocobo out of here, and Chocoboy makes me name it. I hand the controller to my wife, and she names it. You know what she called it?
No.
Jim.
Okay.
Jim.
Pretty good.
World map, music, mods, a day chocobo, Phaeton Telecaster plays, which is a banger. We're listening to it right now, and maybe for the rest of this entire segment.
Yeah.
Little Chocobo follows me around the world map for some reason, which I think is fun. Chris, now we're going to Trabia, Sorbald Snowfield, Forest number 2. It's called Basic Snowfield.
So basic.
It's the same thing as the last one, but it's daytime and a mirrored reflection of the last place. Chocoboy's back. He asks if we're back for more. Then he thanks Squall for the business. I cheated. I got Jim down here and got a flare stone. Great. Went to Trabia, Beaka Snowfield, Forest number 3. It's called the Roaming Forest. It starts off with all the chocobos on the map. What a puzzle. There's another Winter Woods in this one, but this time it's almost ice all over. It's the Ice Woods. What's your favorite Ice Woods?
The Ice Woods in the Secret of Mana that you have to get through in order to rescue Santa Claus from a monster.
Awesome.
No, Santa Claus is turned into a monster. Spoiler alert.
My favorite Ice Woods are the beginning ice zone of Final Fantasy IX. A fake net, when the chocobo music's over, play that winter music from Final Fantasy IX, please. Thanks.
Will do.
The first position in this one is right next to the Chocoboy, Chris, where you got to blow your whistle, which means when you switch the button, you have to walk away or else you talk to him and then get back and hope you're on the right pixel. I love when games respect my time. The next one is right by the exit, and if you leave by accident, you have to start the whole puzzle over. They're playing with the interface here, Chris, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
This time I get a Shell Stone and a Holy Stone, and so help me God if you ask me what those do. You should infer from the context of the Ore Stone what those do.
Yes.
We go to the next forest, number 4. It's in Centra in the Nectar Peninsula. It's called the Forest of Solitude.
I feel like this isn't the first Fortress of Solitude I've discovered, but I can't think of what they are.
This one's dark and moody.
I'm thinking Fortress of Solitude.
You
Never
are.
mind.
Superman lives there.
Yeah.
The woods stretch on, but the air is filled with a purple haze. I want to stay here and read between 3 and 5 books by myself.
Okay.
It's getting harder because of its depth. Squall in the back is much smaller and has less pixel real estate to work with. You have to challenge Chocoboy to cards because he's on the spot to make him move. How do I challenge him to cards? The square button is also the whistle button. Oh shit, I didn't have to do this. Oh, no, you have to do this for the item. I'm reading the guide wrong. You don't have to play him. You can actually say, forget it, just move. For that, you get the Protect Stone and the Meteor Stone. Does this sound fun yet?
No, absolutely not.
Great.
The
Keep
music
listening.
sounds good.
It does. Now I'm in Centra, Lower Plains, Forest number 5. It's called the Forest of Fun. It's green and pastoral. Looks like this could be next to Windhill, but it's not. This one sets up 3 chocobos, then has a 4th one charge in and scare them all away, scattering them like bowling pins. I solved the puzzle. I received a Meteor Stone, Flare Stone, and Ultima Stone. Next I go to Esther, Tall Mountains. It's the Esther continent, not actual Esther City, because we don't know where that is yet.
Right.
I have no encounters on, but I get into a fight anyway.
Oh.
Reveals a UFO stealing a pyramid.
So the UFO thing can still happen?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It's very confusing. This next place looks like the last forest, but has more fall colors and big rocks. This seems impossible without a guide, but you have to do 5 points in a row with no indication of which goes first. When you nail it, 3 go away and 1 stays like normal, but it lingers for a while before flying away, make you think you messed it up. But then a new one drops down. I solved the puzzle. You know what I got?
A stone.
That's right. Meteor Stone, Holy Stone, Ultima Stone. Last one. This gets me access. Solving all these gives me access to the Chocobo Sanctuary.
Oh.
Esther, Grinded Forest. To reach this, you must ride a chocobo out of the roaming forest and do some interesting water crossing hijinks. The camera keeps switching to the overhead view for some reason. I hate this. The Chocobo Sanctuary is deep in the middle of a forest in the middle of a canyon for some reason. We walk right in, and there's a tightly cropped path into a sunny open forest clearing with 6 adult chocobos gathered in a drum circle. Chocoboy is here. He says the chocobos from all over the world are here, and that this is a momentous occasion. I walk forward and it fades to white. Then a small chocobo descends, and the 2 large ones fly away. Waltz for the Moon plays
Oh,
as the 3 large chocobos do a choreographed dance. At the end, Breezy resumes, and the other 3 large chocobos fly away. I approach the chocobo, and Squall says, "Are you going to give me something?" And they did.
and
Do you know what I got?
a stone.
No.
Oh.
Chocobo card.
Oh, is it good?
I don't know, because
Can
I
you-
had to give it away.
Oh. More on that later, maybe?
It's actually the chocobo card. I think there was a typo in the game.
Oh.
I ask for more. It gives me some Gishal greens. And then it takes 600G for the privilege. I paid the bird. I paid Chocobilly to help me one last time. It doesn't work. He says, see you somewhere someday, and then leaves. I exit, and I'm left in the middle of this forest full of Marlboros by myself. I go back in the Chocobo Sanctuary and board a Chocobo. Thank God.
That's it?
That's it.
That's it.
You want to go to Balam?
Why?
Side quests? We can go later if you want.
Let's go now.
Okay. So the mechanic, Chris, in Balam is overjoyed the Galbadians are gone, and he says now his boss can rest in peace. His boss nearby reminds him that he is still alive.
Good. This is the
joke.
boss that got his ass kicked by the soldiers
Yes.
that he was complaining about.
Broken
right.
arm.
Mm-hmm.
So you know who's here, Chris?
Lost broken arm, sorry.
Boss broken arm. Jesus. Deep cut. You know who's here by the train station for me?
The Queen of Cards?
That's right, the Queen of Cards.
She's still there for me because I never, well, maybe not. I
Never
don't know.
moved her?
Yeah.
This whole game, she
I
didn't have the whole game?
definitely haven't moved her, but she wasn't there during the siege or whatever.
I deliberately lose my Chocobo card to her, and then I sent her ass to delay. This takes 7 different times for this to work.
Okay.
I love my time. Then I go back to Dole, and she tells me she wants the Alexander card. And then I win my Chocobo card back from her shitty delinquent son.
Did you tell her that you were not Alexander?
I am not Alexander.
Yes, okay.
Play God Hand. God Hand bless the ring.
Ooh.
There's a man on a bench near Balam Garden Library. He's on the right side of the big circle that goes around the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I have this Chocobo card back,
Yeah.
he will have the chubby Chocobo card.
Oh.
I play him for 45 minutes. I win every match. He never plays it. Finally, he plays it. I don't pay attention and I goof my hand.
Oh.
I lose my Renoa card. I reset my game.
Oh, okay. So you're living that life.
That's
and
right.
Yeah, okay.
I got it 10 minutes later.
Didn't we ever talk about this? But I do now also have the Renoa card. I did go.
Fury Caraway, lose your Ifrit. Go get the Ifrit back from Martine. That's who's got it, man.
I maybe forgot to do that.
Go get that Ifrit. That's yours.
I do have the Renoa card though, so.
Central Balam, there's a guy on a bench. He tells the mother, the big bad rascal, that her kid just whizzed by like a tornado. She says she doesn't know what to do with him anymore and asks if the kid takes after her father. The guy later says the kid has a normal amount of energy and she only has something to worry about if he turns out like Zell.
Jesus. Is Zell present for this?
Yes. He
Is he saying-
says nothing.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Zell's neighbor. I go in there. Chris, his hands have begun to shake and his fishing's gone downhill. He can't share fish with this cat anymore.
Why? Is he traumatized because
I think so, because he had
the-
to take care of the little kid, the daughter with the Panamona card that
Yeah.
I took from her. I go to Zell's house. Zell's mama's just washing dishes. She hopes he's all right. I go up to his room. Squall punches the heavy punching bag.
Okay.
I go to the docks. I look behind the pile of barrels and someone shouts, "No way." It's the big bad rascal as he runs out of the barrels. Apparently, he's never gotten caught whacking off here before. He says he's not giving up that easily and he has a bunch of kids waiting for him back home. Zell asks who's after him now. The big bad rascal says, "Hey, I gotta do what I gotta do or they'll die." Squall fires off question marks and Zell asks what he's talking about. The big bad rascal says he's got to save him and take him back to the sea. Then big bad rascal runs off as Zell yells, "Hey." For some reason, after doing this, there will be a speed up item behind Zell's bed.
Oh. Okay.
Zell concludes the big bad rascal hid that there and says he does come in handy once in a while.
He does come in handy once in a while. Does he whack off in Zell's room too?
Yeah, handy. Wink, wink.
Jesus.
It's a group thing.
There is a lot of big bad rascal content in this video game.
That's right. That was
Yeah.
somebody's pet project. We're going to put some big, I bet someone had a kid that was an absolute shit and needed to filter that down into the game. somehow.
Yeah, that's probably true. There's a couple of these. It's like the seed candidates and the Zell's pigtail thing, or Zell's pigtail.
Someone had a crush on a girl with a pigtail.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff is somebody's inner workings of their mind.
Great. You want to go to Trivia Garden now?
Yeah, that's the
Point of this episode?
I mean, maybe we're at least going to start it. So we fly to Trivia Garden, and
No, we don't.
we don't
We hover.
hover, fly, same
We
thing.
do not fly. Do not say fly.
Okay, I won't.
Thank you.
I won't say it. Now, I didn't discover this until later, but I was very curious about the whole nature of the continent or country of Trabia. Like, why is this fucking thing here? There's no town near here. there's a lot of questions that I had. But
I mean, the United States has military bases in some pretty fucked up places. So I think with precedent for that, world police.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You
But
have all your bases covered.
that's true. So later on, I was fumbling around the menu, and there is in the config or the options or something, there is an information panel that you can get information on the locations that you visited.
Nah.
And most of it's very generic, but there was some new information about the country of Trabia. With the exception of Trabia Garden, no humans live here. It is home to only...
disagree. Chocoboy was just hanging out in the woods.
Oh, okay. Well, of course. There are no settlements here. No human settlements outside of Trabia Garden. It's only the Shumi and
Chocoboy.
the Shumi. There's no other... Yeah, just Shumi. Yeah, that's all it had. Yeah. So, interesting lore. So, you want to go in there?
I do. Bluefields plays.
Did you accidentally almost fly into this this weird crater thing near Trabia Garden?
Yeah.
And Nita started saying, Buddy Rich is flying off the handle. Are you trying to get that reference?
Yeah,
or?
I'm trying to finish the lyric and I can't do it.
He does say
Oh
something.
my
about
God, it's a mirage.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's the next lyric.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
Anyway, so what's with that? Why can't we fly through this crater? Is that Solaris? Like, what is going on here? Is that a secret?
I actually don't know what you're talking about. I lied.
Oh, okay.
It took me a while to find this.
Yeah. Well, if you take a wrong turn, there's there's a crater of some sort there, and it won't let you fly through it. And Nita, a dialogue box will pop up of Nita saying that the readings are off the chart or something.
All right. Remember this in your brain because we're going to figure it out later in this video game.
Okay.
All right.
Hopefully, maybe. Hopefully, we are recording this. So now we can land and go inside Trabia Garden. Is that what you did?
Yeah, it's in the center of a valley surrounded by mountains, and it's dilapidated and it's brown as hell.
Mm-hmm.
We walk in, Bluefields continues. We approach some brown, messed up barn doors with green netting over them.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad.
Someone says it looked bad. I have Renoa and Irvine in my party, and I'm like, well, shit, I should have probably put Selfie in my party. Did you have Selfie in your party?
I didn't, but she comes running up,
Yep.
right?
She rushes up to join us. She puts her hands on the door and shakes her head. She appears to be trying to peer through the chain link fence.
Yes.
Then she doubles over, puts her hands on her knees, and says, "A direct hit?" Renoa says it's terrible. Selfie takes a few steps back, then puts her hand over the top of her head, and then the camera pans up.
Yeah.
It reveals an absolutely fucked top structure of the garden visible over the wall.
Yeah, even that like halo structure thing is kind of burnt
Collapsed.
out. Yeah, it's like half of it has turned to ash.
It looks like it took a direct hit, then rotted for 40 years. Maybe it always looked this bad, and now it looks worse.
Yeah.
I do love the idea of a shitty, junky garden, one that stands in direct contrast to the other two pristine gardens.
Yeah.
Like this one has 1/3 of the budget or something.
Do we ever find out what Trabia Garden was producing? Like
Seeds?
I don't think Trabia was producing seeds.
They
I think
weren't.
I think only Balam is.
I want to say there, yes, and there's a 75% chance I have a note on that later.
Okay, well we'll see what happens later in Eric's notes. Stay tuned.
Selfie climbs up the green netting and then immediately we have control back. I guess we could leave, which would be very funny, or just follow her up here.
Yeah. We climb up that green plastic wireframe looking stuff here. And Squall starts thinking, right? He doesn't say anything out loud. He just thinks, oh, this place has been destroyed by missiles.
Yeah.
He even, like, this is an interesting kind of, like, minor bit of character growth, because, like, internally, Squall begins to understand why Selfie would even want to go, because this is her home. And,
Yeah.
like, Squall does have...
All of her friends are here.
Of anything that Squall's attached to, he's attached to the concept of home.
I think he fears the concept of home.
Well, home as the garden itself, not necessarily a home.
I mean, as far as I know, my guy his home is his dorm, and he just thinks there and hates his life.
Yeah.
He wants to
True.
be traveling on the road.
True. He did have some moments about, like, what would I do if I didn't have garden? And then he's like, I don't want to think about that.
Can't think about this
No,
right now.
cannot do it. We start looking around the garden, right?
Yeah, the next screen is a severely cracked and broken asphalt road surrounded by rock structures and dead trees. Selfie rushes up through it and disappears. Our party follows, but then someone calls Squall's name and he turns around. For me, it was Kistis and Zell.
Yeah, me too. I had the same party as you did. So I'm assuming that everybody just shows up.
Yeah, it's to get them all on the premises. They say they're looking for Selfie. Zell wants to make sure she came by, and Squall confirms that she ran off ahead. Irvine believes she's in shock, then suggests we all go after her. If you speak to Zell afterward, he says he was also in shock when he found out Balam was occupied, so he knows how Selfie feels.
Yes,
Kistis considers that Balam Garden could have ended up like this had we not figured out it was a magical flying thing.
absolutely. Yep.
We go on one more screen, and music "Where I Belong" plays.
Yes, there's more destruction, more rubble here, but there's a funny contrast because Selphie is there absolutely chatting up another
Yeah,
Trabia resident, who will come to find out is one of Selphie's friends. I think
she's called Selphie's friend.
Yes, that's her name. She only identifies with her friends. She's wearing like a striped sweater. But before I talk to this, I talk to the Thundaga draw point
That's right.
and receive some Thundagas.
Thundagas.
Thundaga. Then we can approach the conversation, and Selphie's friend turns to us and asks if we've been looking for Selphie. We have two choices. We can say, not really, or just play along with it.
Mhm.
I play along.
Of course, we're not assholes.
Yes. Squall's growing a little bit here, and Squall says that Selphie has been a great help. Selphie blushes and says, aw. Selphie says that this isn't like Squall, and Squall thinks, whatever. Now, I got curious about whatevers
Mhm.
and the localization there, so I have some whatever facts. Would you like to peruse through my whatever facts
Absolutely.
before we continue this conversation?
Whatever.
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 So I got this from a website which people who listen to this podcast may have heard of before. It's called Legends of Localization.
Mhm.
Have you been there before?
Yes.
It's a good website. Anyway, there is a whole section on whatevers.
Whatever.
And so I'm going to go through some of the whatevers we've seen before because the underlying theme here is that Squall's English whatever catchphrase appears a lot more often than whatever his equivalent Japanese catchphrase is.
Whatever.
Yes. Squall's Japanese catchphrase is a little closer to like him saying, my bad, or, well, excuse me, according to this article.
Princess.
Yes. And it's described as a curt, possibly sarcastic apology, and not quite the same as the dismissive whatever.
Whatever.
Let's take a walk down memory lane and talk about some whatevers that we've previously encountered throughout this game. Whatever number one.
Yeah.
This was the first time this was in the Fire Cavern. Kisses made a joke about how enamoring she must be, about how, I'm a hot teacher and you should listen to me. I bring all the boys here and,
Yeah.
and they all get sweaty.
Milkshake, right.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. In Japanese, Squall responds by thinking something like, I can't believe this teacher, ...
You're my teacher.
Yes. In English, I think we actually did a reference to this one. In English, this becomes whatever.
I can see using whatever as a means to define Squall's personality in a more collective way rather than trying to think of a million catchphrases for dejected response.
Yeah. So whatever number two occurred in Balam Garden. Headmaster Sid asks Squall about how he felt on the battlefield during a mission, and one of the options there is whatever. This is the same option in Japanese. Is like saying something of like nothing much, no big deal, or meh, which
Just
is
chilling.
yeah, no big deal. Whatever number three is during the balcony scene at the ballroom dance, right?
Also with kisses.
Yes, also with Kistis. In English, obviously, he says whatever. In Japanese, he says warukado na, a terse apology that feels sort of like a plain sorry or well, excuse me, or my bad, as previously discussed. This is the phrase that actually becomes his signature catchphrase in the Japanese version. It's just that the whatever is used a lot more. The forest, before we passed out and became Laguna on the way to Galbadia. Remember that moment? Renoa scolds Squall for not being a team player. In English, Squall responds by thinking, whatever. In Japanese, he thinks of something like, man, you're annoying, or get off my case. So, yes. Outside of Galbadia Garden, after recruiting or gaining the trust or whatever of Irvine, Squall gets to respond with his thoughts on the new party lineup. In English, the first choice is yeah, whatever. It's basically the same in Japanese, maybe leaning a little bit closer to yeah, okay, or I guess that'll do, or sure, yeah, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, I guess.
Whatever number 6. Squall shows Renoa around the academy at one point while explaining the cafeteria about hot dogs and whatnot. Renoa teases Squall for explaining this so seriously, and Squall responds with his Japanese catchphrase, warukada na, well, excuse me. The rest of them are basically the same in Japanese with his Japanese catchphrase up until whatever number 9, which is at the concert, in which the Japanese is closer to something of him saying like, give me a break, or oh geez, or ugh, after being called a hey Squall, you stud, or whatever by Selphie. And that leads us to this most recent whatever, which is closer to him saying, leave me alone. Thus concludes my whatever analysis from legendsoflocalization.com. I thought that was interesting because it's a little bit different.
Whatever, Chris.
Yes, thanks. So now we can continue the conversation with Selphie.
Excellent.
Yeah, she asked us if we want to hoop later and asked us to meet at the basketball court, right?
Basketball court, my favorite arena that you fight in Wu-Tang Shaolin style basketball court.
Yes, of course, absolutely. Final Fantasy VIII has basketball and hockey, so
I think it's interesting that when Squall says just play along with it, and he says that Selphie's been a great help, she screams and puts her hands on her face, and then actually says that's not like Squall, like you said. But I think it's funny to still measure your boy's personality progress amid your own mental breakdown.
They never let that go. Ever.
We should also note we're in the signature fountain, which I think every garden has a central area.
Yes.
Which kind of, a lot of the pathways are blocked by rubble here. Like every single area we go to is fucked in one way or another.
Yeah.
So did you get the secret that we learned about later in the screen?
I remember learning about it and forgetting to go back and get the secret. It's 5 steps below the...
Yes, you go to the fountain and take 5 steps forward, and then you just mash X on the ground, and you get weapons monthly.
Oh, shit.
August. This features Squall's punishment weapon, Renoa's Cardinal, Kistis' Save the Queen, and Zell's Air Guys.
God bless the ring.
God bless the ring.
I definitely need to go back and get this shit.
Air Guys is described as the most powerful fighting glove.
Oh, of course it is. God bless it. Great. Can we make that now?
Yes, if you have the materials.
I'll break down all the cards I have if I need
you
to.
Get the Air Guys immediately?
Yes, I need it as soon as possible. Shit.
So lastly on this screen, there's a guy in the very back. It's a Travia faculty member. He's kind of hard to access. Did you get to this person?
Is this the guy that's looking for good deeds?
Yes.
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 He says, young lad, have you done a good deed for your academy? Trabia Garden, good deed, you ask? It's to help rebuild the place. Let's see. For example, if you donated to the Trabia Fund, I'll give you an A. What is your name and number? So today, this will be one of those things you could do to like occasionally donate money to help rebuild Trabia.
Yeah.
Like Colony 6 in Xenoblade, Colony 3, whatever that was. One of those mini games. So did you go right to the graveyard, or did you go west for the story?
I went right to the graveyard.
Excellent.
The graveyard is fucked.
It's pretty bad.
Because it is full of makeshift headstones with jackets, rifles, and other weaponry draped over them to represent the folks that died, I guess, right?
Blue dress shirt, bomber jacket, gun.
There is not a stonemason around to etch their names into the graves, so they've got to use their personal possessions. It's kind of grim.
Graveyards always, for a good reason, mess with a lot of human psyches. Did you get the weird draw point here?
Yeah, there's 2 more fucked up things here. 1, the draw point is zombie.
Yeah.
Which says a lot about what's going on here, I guess. The other fucked up thing here is one of Laguna's goddamn magazines is laying here and it wasn't destroyed.
Timbermaniacs.
Yeah.
This place looks like it suffered the nuke from Terminator 2 in just a magazine hanging out.
That's a good visual. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Later on, we'll find somebody here mourning their loved one.
Yep.
I go back and I go west. It's a screen with what appears to be makeshift beds and living quarters inside of a bombed out hangar. The nearby stairs are cut off by falling debris. A guy in green and yellow is lying down, saying they carried the injured ones out in a car. This guy isn't hurt, but he's exhausted. The man sitting down, nodding off, who I think 2 episodes we referenced, he says, Tonberry King, take this, GF summoning, blaz.
Yeah. And there's a couple of other scenes that happen with this guy later, depending on when you walk onto the screen.
It's narcolepsy.
Where he is constantly just dreaming about having battles.
Yes,
so
fearing something.
Yes, he does fear battles, I guess, because I guess these are nightmares. If not, then he loves the battles.
From there, I went right?
Yeah, I fucked up and went left and proceeded the story too far. So go right. Yeah, take us through the right-hand side.
I go right and find what appears to be the remains of Trabia's lone classroom. A lady in a yellow skirt is sifting through the rubble, and 2 students are sorting through the wreckage of some stacked-up desk terminals. The lady in yellow says they need to do their best to calculate their food and daily supplies. Also, the calculator is broken, so they have to be extra careful. She asks a nearby student who is reading a book if he remembers how to multiply. The student talks about the book he found in the rubble. It talks about taking steps and finding secret treasure, specifically steps from Trabia's gargoyle statue. He then realizes it's somebody's diary and recites that it's 5 steps south. This is your only hint about the weapons magazine?
Yeah, sure. I guess. It's weird.
The students by the terminal are trying to fix it. They're the tech squad, Chris. One is wearing a Trabia Seed uniform, which is a mixture of blacks and grays. Very Confederate. I walk over and turn on the nearby terminal. One of these guys is named Lank, and he's surprised and asks if it's up. The screen shows Trabia's logo and asks for an entry code. His buddy, who's named Port, and he's surprised too.
Lank and Port.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be Link, because it definitely said Lank.
I don't know.
The terminal starts making computer hard drive noises. It then shows Selphie's face and a bunch of illegible stats. Somebody made Facebook, Chris. They say it's Selphie's personal data. Then out of nowhere, Selfie runs up, types in something, and turns the thing off. Then she runs away. I speak to Port and Link again, and neither acknowledge what just happened.
Is this the only time this can happen? Because I missed this before the story moment, and I came back later and nothing happened. They just talked and they just mentioned that they're trying to get the shit up. Yeah, that's
I
it.
guess.
Yeah.
Did you try to turn the screen on?
Maybe that's what I missed.
Yeah, you have to interact with the thing.
Okay, that might be it.
I go back to the previous screen, and Selfie's here now, kneeling over the guy in green.
Yeah.
2 younglings run up to Selfie and say her name. They say they're sorry and ask if she can forgive them. Selfie's like, why are you apologizing? The boy says he couldn't save the teddy bear she gave him.
Oh, the teddy bear is burning in the fire.
It is.
Right. Reminds me of the introductory animation for Gundam Wing.
Is that a Gundam?
Yeah, thanks.
Is that like Evangelion? Never mind.
No.
The girl can hear him crying. He's lonely. Then Selfie does a little dance and tells them her teddy bear is a lot stronger than they think. As long as you're all safe, Mr. Bear is very happy. Selfie then waits a second and says, hey, I can hear him. Mr. Bear is watching over you secretly. The children then look at each other in disbelief. Selfie tells them, so don't be naughty or sad all the time. Just remember, Mr. Bear is watching you. Now, I know that sounds sweet to you, Chris, but can I ask you a question?
Why are these kids here?
Well, no, they're students. Garden accepts younger students.
Okay.
Squall was there when he was 5, right?
Yeah.
No, Mr. Bear is a secret surveillance program.
Oh, in real life?
I don't know. This is all theory.
Oh, okay.
Every child gets a Mr. Bear to spy on them.
Why? I mean, but seriously, why hasn't anybody evacuated these kids? Like,
the cars were full.
Okay,
where are they going to evacuate them to? It's an isolated continent.
That's what I was going to say. Like,
Chocoboy out here.
There's no sovereign nation that has any kind of meddling in Trebia Garden.
Not yet. I mean,
Like
it appears to be undesirable, unfarmable land, right?
Yeah.
So they got some minerals there to make your iPhone.
Like, who's in charge? I need to know more about Trebia Garden. Like, who is there a Norg?
Yeah, I don't think we ever actually meet their equivalent of Martine or Sid, right?
Right.
We're just he perished in the blast and no one said anything.
Yeah, it's weird because we know why Galbadia Garden exists because of it's simply a factory of war for the fascist government. And we know that and obviously now we know why Balam Garden exists for this Sid's weird sorceress war. By the way, where the fuck is Sid? Can't find him.
Yeah, I think about that all the time,
okay.
Actually.
All right, well, more on that later, I guess, maybe. Who knows? But we don't get that for Trebia Garden, so it's strange to me. There's this is a garden without a country.
Eyes without a face. Maybe their leader was someone named Portlink, and then he divided into 2 tech boys, Port and Link.
Okay.
God damn it.
The secret garden master of Trebia Garden is Wimbley Donner.
The Secret Garden is a movie rated G that I just see in theaters with my girl cousin. Selfie says to meet her by the basketball court. The little girl promises to be good, not to be sad all the time, just like me. Then she runs off.
Yep.
I find them again on the next screen. They ask if we're Selfie's friends. They say they like her a whole lot. Me too, buddy. The girl asks if I like Selfie, and I can pick I think so or not really. I choose I think so. The girl says we're the same.
Yes.
I walk to that previous screen again, and a fully uniformed Trebia student tries to wake up the nodding off student. It's like, you're on patrol duty. The person stays dreaming, mumbling that their draw failed.
Yeah.
Then she says something iconic. Instead of fighting in your dreams, why don't you fight yourself back to reality?
That's really good.
Let's go.
I didn't get that. Wow, that's really good.
Great dialogue.
Yeah.
I go west, one more screen, and what do we find on the stage, the event stage? Well, Chris, after that edit, we go left and find a ruined stage. What's in the middle of the stage?
A fucking missile.
It's a big missile. It's undetonated.
It's the same missile that we saw in the CG cutscene.
Yes.
The missiles with eyes.
Yeah.
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 Drone missiles or whatever.
The student body president is up here putting his hands on the missile. He says they have to remove it as soon as possible.
It's going to fall on somebody's face, basically.
I mean, there's a long history of, even still in England, London, they're still digging up unexploded ordnance from World War II and shit like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So he says there's no threat of explosion, but if it falls over, it could kill someone. Are you guys sure about this? Like, has anyone evaluated? Does this guy know shit about missiles?
I don't think anyone's in charge. That's the problem here. And if Selfie was still here,
she'd try to blow it up.
No, she'd be the one in charge because she seems like she's very famous.
Yeah,
so don't know if good or bad.
I have a note that says impossible to tell if bad or not. Someone's on the ground trying to fish out a basketball.
Yeah, but the basketball's right there.
Yeah.
I got confused about that. He said that was the last basketball. It's rolled into there. Oh, shit.
Maybe his glasses got busted.
Yeah.
The student VP is also here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She wishes the faculty was more reliable, and she wonders what they expect the student body to do under these conditions.
Yeah, where the fuck? They left, are they?
I think they're all dead, dude.
I want to know if
they should get the injured guys out of here. Sorry.
I at least want to see if the faculty are wearing, like, robes or uniforms here? Because I need to know.
Yeah, what the faculty's like.
Yeah.
They're just the inverse.
I mean, we are close to Shumi Village, so maybe all those the Shumi exiles who leave to seek riches and fame all end up here as faculty members for their fucking guardmaster Porg, Snorg, Gorg,
Lorg, Doug. A guy walking through remembers how they used to fight over the basketball court during lunch break. He lost to a guy 3 days in a row, but that guy is dead meat next time.
Dead
Dude,
meat.
check and see if he's actually dead first.
Yeah.
I go back to the fountain, Chris,
You did? Why?
to talk to Selfie's friend.
Oh, I didn't talk to her till later.
She tells me Selfie's at the graveyard, so I go back there. Did you talk to Selfie at the graveyard?
No.
This is some exclusive content.
Okay.
Because I went back because I forgot the Timber Maniacs.
Oh.
Anyway, I find Selfie squatting near a grave. She says, and I can't do a good selfie because I'm not my wife,
Yes.
but she says, I did it, everyone. I know the stage got destroyed, but I performed. My dream band. I was able to carry out my dream. You remember how we promised that we'd do something memorable for ourselves, right? Remember? My performance, our performance we were supposed to do. You all saw me, right? I'll keep playing for however long it takes you to hear. Our dream, it's much bigger and better than before. And this is, again, where I hate that I fucked up the performance in my game.
Oh, yeah.
Picked a bad song.
Yeah, you destroyed Selfie's romantic
Because
dream.
all of her dead friends were watching it. You know,
Yes.
her dream.
Oh, God.
This is a nice contrast to Squall, who always assumes the worst will happen again and again and lives to work rather than lives to fulfill a personal dream despite significant adversity.
Yes.
Selfie is a better person than anyone else on this godforsaken team.
I think you're right.
Yeah. This really did a lot for Selfie for me. This completely optional screen.
So
It won't let us talk to her. You have to leave her in silence.
So if Selfie's like the best person on this team in terms of just the quality of the overall
character.
package, yeah, the character herself,
Her selfie.
Number 2 is Zell, right?
It is Zell. I thought it would have been Kistis had Kistis existed beyond Disc 1.
A little bit more with her later,
You
but
get 2 lines.
but it feels a little bit.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. That might be my note later too. It's
Feels
bad.
a little bit plot abandoned.
Yes. Anyway. Okay. Well. in
Chris,
that-
next time I want a ball.
Yeah, I want a ball. I like the ball. I like to hoop it up. What's your favorite hooper? Who's your favorite basketball player of all time?
I had the most Anthony Hardaway jerseys.
Oh,
But locally, DeJuan Wheat, of course.
we our mutual friend Kevin. Well, he's not your friend. You hate him.
No, fuck Kevin.
When he was here recently, we fired up the Super NES flash card and played a round of NBA Live '98
Why'd you go 98?
because we just decided to go with the most recent one. They're the latest one. I think 95 is better.
95 is the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, he chose the Phoenix Suns and
With Dan Marley and Kevin Johnson.
yes, and Rex Chapman. So as people started running out, I was like, that's a coach. That's the former mayor of Sacramento. That's a guy on Twitter who retweets or steals content.
Yeah, and
All
also
the time.
stole an iPad.
Yeah, he also stole an iPad from the Apple Store, but I mean, give him he
some
had
problems.
he had an addiction problem, and he's used his platform to help people with addiction. So I won't begrudge him for that, but I will begrudge him for stealing content on Twitter. Like more people know about Rex Chapman as a Twitter retweet guy than they know
Meme Lord, please.
that he was a basketball player.
Yeah.
Let's consult the Rex Chapman net.
Chapnet.
Initializing RealNet.
Hello.
We need to design a randomizer that just plays a random sound effect from the soundboard.
Shy Guy 32 says Pandemona looks wild, which
Yeah.
true. Yeah. Lots of orifices there.
I want to see Pandemona redrawn as a gear.
Wayne says you get a pizza party if you sell enough Butterfingers.
We got pizza parties for magazine subscriptions.
John Doe says, can you sequence break this game with Chocobo Forests?
A little bit. I mean, there's something interesting that a note I forgot to write down, but you can go down to the southern continent and there's a mysterious structure that we'll get to in the next episode, and you can try to enter it, and you know what Squall says?
Whatever.
Seems familiar.
Oh, yeah. I did get that. Yeah. So John Doe says, and I think this is more articulate than I was trying to say earlier, but he says, it's possible some of the sense of wonder is gone because we are adults now and the world map no longer offers us sufficient illusion of choice to fool us into imagining infinite secrets hiding in every corner
You've
of it.
seen behind the curtain.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would wander that thing for days. Trying to figure out how to get to places early. I mean, you could sequence break 7 pretty easily and take the bridges to Wutai
Yeah.
fairly early.
John Doe says you can fight chocobos in FF7, so
Yeah.
confirmed monster. Yes. Shy Guy 32 says God hand the ring.
God bless the hand.
John
God hand's so good.
John Doe says I love that everyone in Balan keeps dunking on Zell at every opportunity.
I mean, you think Air Guys is a cool name? God hand had a move called Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am.
Yeah. Garden Master Gron. This implies the existence of Garden Master Wrong. Ephemeral Eternity says, and I think we maybe made this joke already, but we'll say it again a couple episodes ago. Selphie, the secret member of the Magical Dreamers. Selphie would make a good manager for Nikki.
Yeah, she'd be great. She has the most kid energy. Put an Australian accent on her, and she's a pretty good facsimile.
John Doe said
These games were in parallel development.
it before, and I'll say it again. Selphie fucking owns. Yeah, that might be a new revelation for us, right? Selphie owning, Selphie being awesome.
Yeah.
A couple of other things that we've come across too, but that's definitely a new one. Shy Guy 32 says once again plugging Barclay's Shut Up and Jam.
Go get the damn ball. You see that version of Barkley Shut Up and Jam they're selling now that has Barkley deleted from it and replaced with some stock photo guy?
No.
Yeah, someone bought the rights to Shut Up and Jam, but not Barkley, so they're just and that's not a good game anyway.
No, never was.
Gaiden's a different story, of course.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks RealNet for joining us tonight. We'll see you next time. This episode has been a production of Retrograde Amnesia, recorded on August 27th, 2021. Thanks, Mark, for the music.
You're welcome, Chris.
Find us on Twitter at Retro Amnesia Pod. And if you like this podcast, please tell your friends. Please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/retroam, and we will give you in return early access, bonus episodes, miniseries, voting rights for our next seasons and series and whatnot, and access to the RealNet on Discord. Hop in. Email us at podcast@retrogradeamnesia.com, and until next time.
Yes, we will kill God.
And now, you may go back to sleep.
The key to Nebuchadnezzar.
Oh, did you watch that?
Yeah.
I put the fake net under the table.
The fuck does that mean, Chris?
I put the board under the table.
Oh.
So I have some more space over here when I'm working.
I was going to say, you think it's easier to pull back, reach down, and push? Okay. All right.
We're going to find out today, Eric.
I'm going to give you a 2-week warning. If I come over here in 2 weeks and the knot is still in your headphones, I'm going to get up and leave.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I mean, I can fix it now.
It's been like a month.
Really?
You're killing me.
Sorry. I have a lot of cable management issues going on here.
Son of Cyclops. I thought of a good fake net when I was driving over and it's gone. It's fucking gone.
Move the camera over here. Have we done the Zell scene where Zell's in the party and they ask him the questions about his favorite color and shit?
Yeah.
We've done that?
Hmm?
Oh. I wish I wouldn't have taken notes on it then. Because I got it yesterday.
Listen to the goddamn podcast, Chris.
I don't think I haven't finished editing that one yet. So, by the way, next time you see me, most likely I will be a glasses wearer.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes.
Almost
yes.
40.
I didn't make it to 40 before I needed glasses, but I got my eyes checked today. And yeah.
And you're disabled. Congratulations.
Yes. So after a full life of flaunting my good vision, my eagle eyes, I'm now
still
moving.
there.
I'm now moving.
What are you fucking up? Close stuff or far away stuff?
I can't see far away stuff because I noticed this because I started getting headaches when I was driving, and hopefully this will help some of my headache problems. Anyway,
Yeah, one of the key components of driving is seeing where you're going. So you really want to get that
well, it's just
straight.
like I also upsold myself on the glasses and got some blue light filters on my glasses. Are you familiar with blue lights?
No, I don't go to raves, Chris.
Blue lights are the things that are emitted by your devices, your electronic devices, such as this monitor here, your phone. You probably have a blue light filter on your iPhone, and those lights are thought to fuck with your sleep, with your whatever the patterns are in your body that the circadian.
So are you going to start your cleanse and eat your horse paste after this too? How? Where? What?
No,
what,
this
what
is not
conspiracy.
This is not like a hippie shit thing. This is like a medical thing.
That's what they all say.
Anyway, you should. That's why they tell you not to watch TV before you go to bed.
I believe you. I've just never heard of that before.
Oh, yeah. Okay, podcast. You wanted to make a podcast about Final
I left
Fantasy
my computer
VIII.
on. Yes.
Is that a problem? You left your computer on. You can leave them on. It's fine.
Yeah, I know, but it's 9 years old. You know.
Oh, speaking of leaving my computer on, I need to pause my.
Do you know Streets of Rage 3 had a hidden character removed from the English version because he was, even for the 90s, offensively gay?
Oh, offensively gay, like
poor representation.
Okay. I was going to say, like, was he offending people because he's a gay character, or is he offending people because he's a bad portrayal of a gay character?
I think bad portrayal. I'm not especially learned on that because I haven't thought about that in 10 years.
Yeah.
But I remember it being a source of controversy.
Oh, okay. Hey, Streets of Rage 4, a God Bless the Ring candidate one day, maybe. Or not Streets of Rage 4, but Streets of Rage. Let me check one thing before we start going more. I'm not sure I'm liking the table experiment. I do like the extra room I've been granted right here during my workday, but I don't like having to reach into the table every time.
Just wall mount it.
Well, what I want to do is get like a small thing I can just put it right here, which would be nice. Anyway, that's fucking. Why are we talking about this?
You want to get a dot for your L desk?
What's a dot?
Like above a J or an I.
Oh.
Just take him in the bathtub. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. He started fucking reciting rules about no food around the computer. Make sure your hands are clean. Like, fucking, I've been telling you this shit for years, and you listen to your teacher who just told you this.
Yeah, but children always have sticky hands no matter what. You can't do anything about it.
Yeah, well, anyway.
All the shit in your house is sticky.
And if you're, we're going to record another one in a few minutes if you're listening live. And if you're not listening live, then you won't hear that because I would have cut it because it doesn't make any sense in context.
Jesus, Chris.